Hello everybody, Valorant has just released a new patch, patch 1.03. And this patch has some pretty interesting things to talk about. New orbs in Spike Rush, Guardian buffs, and more. But before I start the video, I stream every Monday and Friday at 2 p.m. Central on Twitch. Hop on in my stream and Discord to talk more about the future of Valorant and to become a larger part of the community. You can find all links in the description down below. Alright, the news. Recently, Valorant has tweeted this video. In case you are wondering, there is no audio. However, going into the comment section, we can see that someone, possibly a data miner, has posted this image of a possible future Vandal skin. This skin is probably my favorite Vandal skin I've ever seen, so we will sure hope it is true. Other people have also hinted of a possible new Dragon agent, so I'll have to keep you all updated in case I figure anything else about this tweet. Alright, Riot Games has been dedicating their time and effort into making rated queues more fair and stable. In their own words, they have said, "The first patch of rated queue is looking fairly stable thus far, so we've opted to keep our balance changes light in order to let the meta evolve naturally." This is saying that Riot has already been making changes on the rated queues to make it more fair, so they are not going to make any large changes this patch since it is already in a good position. Moving on, the surrender option gets a dedicated button to make it easier to vote and easier to see. Along with this, the voting threshold has changed for unrated. You can now have one vote being no, although you need all 5 players of your team to vote yes for competitive. You can also surrender sooner now, so you don't have to wait numerous rounds to start a vote. Now for the weapon updates, well, really just the Guardian. First of all, the price of the Guardian has decreased from 2,700 to 2,500, making it a more affordable weapon for a light buy round in case you happen to have more money than the rest of your team. The rate of fire has also decreased from 6.5 to 4.75. In my opinion, I believe they did this to make the weapon more of a DMR instead of a semi-auto rifle. Anyways, the penetration power has also changed from medium to heavy, which is a fairly large buff if you think about it. You might be able to get a cheeky wallbang holding B main on ascent by pre-firing, for example, but Riot said, "Up until now, the Guardian has lived in a strange position in the arsenal. Price-wise, it remained close to the premium rifles while not adequately competing with their power, making it too pricey as an alternate economic option. But it is not powerful enough to be considered as a premier weapon choice." They then go on about how the fire rate of the weapon made it more powerful in close range than as previously intended. Finally, they say, "We hope these changes will sharpen the Guardian's identity as a long-range versatile weapon." Moving on to the map updates. Valorant devs have removed the spot where the spike was unable to be retrieved on the map Haven. Hopefully this will just make it a tad harder for people to throw on Haven. However, I never really knew about this spot anyways, but at least they fixed it. On all maps, they've said that they have fixed multiple spots where players were able to clip inside a level geometry, and they have removed more locations where Sova's sensor arrow was able to go through walls. In Spike Rush, the Valorant devs have created another new orb called the Twin Hunters. Capturing the orb releases 2 hunting wolves to track down the 2 nearest enemies from the orb location. Wolves speed up when they spot an enemy and dash at them when close, slowing and near-sighting them for 4 seconds upon impact. Wolves also have health, leaving them at 100 HP, and the enemy team can in fact damage and shoot them. Wolves time out at 15 seconds or when their target is killed. We will have to see how these orbs play out on Spike Rush. Personally, I don't think Spike Rush is nearly as competitive as the standard bomb mode in the game, so I'm sure they will not have a huge impact on players. Speaking of orbs, the mid defender side orb on Split has been moved onto the middle platform to make it slightly less defender favored. I'm really glad they did this because this orb was pretty much always a free defender orb, so it's really nice to see that they are also changing the spawn of the orbs to make it more even. There is a huge list on quality of life improvements in which the dev team have fixed, but I will just list a few of the most important ones. The unrated vote requirements changed from 100% to 80%. You can call surrender in the 5th round instead of the 8th. In competitive matches, there's a new win by 2 overtime format with automated votes on whether the game should be continued or end in a draw. So instead of playing a single sudden death round, teams will alternate playing rounds on attack and defense until a team wins by 2. Each round, your economy is set, leaving all players at 5,000 credits and 4 points short of their ultimate. There are more things about the voting to continue or draw, so I will just put them on screen for you all to see. Go ahead and pause the video if you want to read all these, but I'm going to continue. For everyone hosting pugs, etc., tournaments, you will have the choice whether or not to have the win by 2 rule or the original sudden death rules. The largest change of custom games is the addition of the new tournament mode. This allows every player in the game to have access to the toggle match timer cheat in-game without having all other cheats enabled as well. It also allows observers to be flagged as moderators, which grants them access to additional cheats that they can use as necessary. However, regular observers can no longer use cheats. I can't wait to see how this new patch plays out, so we'll have to keep in touch. In order to do so, please hop into my Discord and Twitch, and catch me when I go live next. Anyways, that's all from me. Leave any comments of any questions or suggestions, and until then, see you later.
Spike planted.
Yikes, Fuse Slick lit 80. Why would I go RGB if I could get RAM that's twice as good and it's twice as cheap? Brendan, this is why your PC sucks.
Yes, sure. What guns do they have? Hey, you got